his skin. And I'd like to pass over now to Peter Docker to talk about my town.
Thanks, Suda, and thank you to the whole Corrugated Lines team. Alex, who set this up for me today, because I don't know anything about that sort of stuff, and to see that little lady lift that big heavy thing over her head was just something special. And just with regards to the netball team, Suda, I just want to say we didn't win a single game. But look, I tried to say to the girls, it's not about the scoreboard. And, the looks that I got when I said that, I just couldn't replicate. So yeah, thanks to everybody from Corrugated Lines, thanks for having me back. Suda, Alex, Patlo, everybody. I was going to be selling my book here tonight, my new book, which is called Sweet One. I can't sell it because it's actually sold out at the moment. So, anybody who doesn't have a copy, please go to the Fremantle Press website, order it. If you've already got a copy, order it anyway. Order my last two books, because, you know, they need a bit of help as well. So, yeah. I wrote this poem called My Town. I wrote it during the time of the gas dispute, which is a pretty confusing and a pretty shitty time, basically, for everybody. It doesn't matter which way you think about it. It was not very much fun. It started out as a doodle, and it just kind of kept going and developed this kind of narrative with this kind of serious Tourette's syndrome happening and a constantly shifting point of view. And as it started to develop and as it kept going, then I felt like it started to get closer to what I was feeling about what was happening. This poem, I've got to say, it goes for like 35 minutes or something. So if you haven't got a drink, get one now. You also won't offend me by going and getting a drink in the middle of it. Obviously, if I'm going to have a poem this long, if you miss 5 minutes, you'll still be able to catch up. And look, more than anything, I just want to say that this poem is dedicated to my dear friend and my mentor, a man called Mr. Jimmy Chai. A lot of people will talk to you about how Broome got put on the map by Lord McAlpine and others. I say no. I say Broome got put on the map by an artist, by Mr. Jimmy Chai, and I'm privileged enough to call him my friend. So, this poem is called My Town. My town. My town goes crash bang in the night. My town likes to street hang, screaming out, who wants to fucking fight? My town is a drinking town, a clinking town, a thinking town, a sinking town, a singing town. We sing the town down, we sing it out across the water, around the point, up the creek and back into town. My town can be jealous, my town can be precious, my town can be sensual and sassy and classy and ugly and mean. My town is the craziest place you've ever seen, the nastiest place you've ever been. Yeah, we've had our hard times, yeah, we've had our lean. My town is an old man, a genius, a musician, but now old, fucking crazy! Fucking crazy genius, a man of faith, of deep belief and mirth. Laughing is breathing, is sitting in the dirt. And when I sit next to him, he plays his music loud. We tell stories and smoke ciggies. His mind dancing like a wiggy wiggy somehow makes me feel calm. My town is like that. My town uses laughter like Mungana used punctuation, wears rosary beads and knows where to get extreme unction. My town has a secret crowd hidden in and around, Narangul not living in Guttier time. They cannot be found except by those who knows where they are. And they laugh, these old survivors, and make us cups of tea. My town has dogs that bark and bark and bark, and people driving round with the soul of a tiger shark. Can't wait for a turning car. Go around, plant the foot, accelerate fast. We love the smell of burning cars in the morning. Smells like victory. Someday this war's gonna end. Yeah, my town is just like your town. My town does as it's told. My town takes orders from your town. Your town flies into my town, stays in our resorts, rents our cars, business lunches in my town, making announcements, bringing more cops, having conventions, laying down the law to my town. Your town is not my town, and my town is not yours. In my town, we remember before the town. We speak before the town language, we dance before the town dances, tell before the town stories, live by before the town law. Everyone got everything, got no rich, got no poor, swaying to that different rhythm, that different law. My town loves check day. We love to spend all our pay. We keep the economy ticking over, keep the recession at bay. E goes away when in comes to stay. Mother-in-law rules still in play. Yeah, we love check day. We drink emu export and roll in the hay. And when it's over, we'll soon be on our way. My town is crazy in the head like me. My town is girt by sea. Our beaches go on for miles and miles. We love to tear along them in our four-wheel drives. My town gets the shakes. My town has what it takes to shake the life right out of you. Out of the blue, she'll come for you, yeah. My town gets the shakes. My town has a big heart. A heart that beats away in my town. A heart that holds sway in my town. Deep underneath everything going down, a heart beats away in my town. My town hopes too much. My town smokes too much. My town loves a long lunch. My town has a hunch that you'll be back. Even though you say you won't, you'll be back. My town has a long memory. My town has bad hemorrhoids. My town has expensive eateries. My town always studiously avoids working hard when we can work smart and still have time to go fishing. That's the way it is in my town when there's a good tide. My town has a knob that goes to 11. My town lives in hell, dreams of heaven. We got money, we gonna spend him. We got a brother, we gonna defend him. We got him broken, we gonna mend him. We gotta be low key, we gonna blend in. Sister needs a car, we gonna lend him. Always smash out when we feel hemmed in. We got trouble, we gonna send him far away. We say go that way. Ah! Yeah, we go to 11. My town is an old dog you can't train. My town is a crooked fence you can't strain. My town has had enough to be feeling no pain. My town spilled her wine, left a stain. My town left a mark on the earth where she lain. My town really comes alive in the rain. We love to splash and thrash about. We set up our enemies and we take them out. We keep our magazines full and one up the spout. We pretend we won when really it's a rout, because no matter how hard we've tried to come together, it's all come to naught. My town is hard to leave. My town is hard to believe, especially on check day in late afternoon when the jiggle tree's in full bloom. Cats are screaming, dogs howling at the moon. I've got to get back there soon. My town is scarred real deep. My town finds it hard to get to sleep. My town absorbs the punishment and stays on her feet. My town is an old shed that goes ping in the night. Goes ping, pang, crinkle, ping, and shifts and changes into something else, a different structure, and maybe changes back again before you even notice, before you even wake up, or maybe doesn't change back, stays different, but so subtle that you don't even notice it for years and years, and by then the old shed has gone ping and changed into something else, some other type of structure. I get up in the middle of the night, go out for a smoke. My town smokes too much, my town jokes too much. Gammon yarn about such and such. She's doing something but not saying much. Smoke in the moonlight, drink in the ache of the clouds but no thunder. The ache of the light sprinkled on my one deep brown arm from driving all day with my elbow out the window. And through the ache of the moon, the ache of the frangipani bloom, I see that the old shed has become a massive water tank. You've got me to thank, money's in the bank, taxis in the rank, to high heaven she stank. Can't wait to see it in the morning. In the morning, it's just a shed, squatting sullenly in the yard, as if old shed wished to be somewhere else, or me. Old shed stares me down with tinny eyes, sheddy eyes. I stare back, eyes of clay. It's just a shed. In the middle of the night, next night now, I'm woken by the sound of female voices splashing in the tank, of nymphs swimming in the tank, sweet giggles, girlish yelps, swirling pelts, keeping me awake, drive me crazy. You know what kind. But I don't go out, I suck it up. In the morning, it will just be a shed. In the middle of the night, next night now, I'm woken by the splashing, the thrashing, the mashing, the porn star moans floating around frangipanis, dragon fruits and jig ale, Malaysian limes, lemons and pomelos, star fruit and custard, apple pawpaws and mangoes, all around floating moans. I get up, go out to the massive tank in the backyard, the splashing, the laughing goes on. My town is swimming in the massive tank in the backyard. Her crimson dress hangs from a wire near the ladder. I can't see into the tank, splashing, thrashing, mashing, but I can imagine I would know it was him even if the dress were white. I light a smoke, look away towards the full moon. My town can get fucked. He ain't gonna treat me like this. My town would fuck you over for $2 and a piss. My town doesn't want to get stuck in one place, but too late. My town rode in on a cattle truck with two scrubbus bullies who just won't buck. My town is full of shit. My town can take a big hit, stay on its feet, never fall into the pit of despair down where there's no clean air. My whole damn street is in a state of disrepair. No lawn, front yard swept or raked clean. Any snake slithering will be clocked if not seen. Any footprints left will be analysed and we'll all talk about where she's been. My town can get fucked. My town rode in on a cattle truck. My town only has herself to blame for getting stuck in the mud. See you down the pub. Oh, there's the rub. Join the club, join the club, join the export club. Came in on a cattle truck. She's going out in a floating tub. Down at Streeter's jetty, there's an outgoing tide. The floating tub is loaded up for the saltwater cowboy ride. Two figures in the mist push off from the bank. My town and the old shed water tank. Feel the moon tide beneath their feet, pull them towards the moon shadow and the unknowable deep, out into the creek, turn the other cheek. Jocks are better than geeks, all a bunch of freaks. Waves got white peaks, floating tubs got a few leaks. Climb the mountainous waves so steep, Grim Reaper's got a reap. Toss and turn, can't get to sleep. Got this floating tub on the cheap, sailing on till the middle of next week. I'm standing on the rickety bridge. Mozzies are on my iPad image. Creek water washing my thongs, baptise my feet, right my wrongs. Soon I'll need a new pair, get them at Fongs. The floating tub, a dark speck, beyond the mangroves heading out, way beyond a whisper, too far for a shout. My town and the old shed, indecipherable in the dark, having a lark, reality so stark. Linju got a narc, tied tugging at my heart, and I know I need to follow. What will this place be like, all scarred up and hollow, when my town is gone? Done and dusted, tin roof rusted, cattle bin mustard, Linju gets flustered. I don't want to wait around to find out. I've got this friend I never told you about. Got this friend so stout. Feels the tide come in, feels the tide go out. He'll help me out. He owes me, but that I can't talk about. He dresses like a crocodile. He's got a Dampier Creek smile. He lives in the mangroves, he bides away the meanwhile, and I need his help now. Water's dropping fast, make my peace, make my pledge, go to the edge of the jetty, rusted rotten, over the side, underneath I've gotten, dropped into the murky water like I've lost the plotting. My thongs sucked down into the mud, I've probably lost them. The stinky water stinks around my chin, my feet in the mud sink a little bit more in. Water going out, will the race win? So I'm waiting for my friend. He'll help me out. He owes me. Water's dropping fast. Little ripples round my nipples. Brought my flask for a little tipple. When at last I feel it bump, bump, a little tickle against my shin. A log bumps against me and I know it's him. And he surfaces next to me with his wicked little grin. What now? Arcs with his slitty little eyes. Swamps surrounded by fires. I'm looking down to the creek mouth, looking almost due south. Pointing with my lips and chin. He nods his tiny nod, grins another wicked grin, and I climb onto his back. The knobbly ridges of his crocodile skin help me to keep hanging in. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. On the innocent the crime's been pinned. Tide goes out right after she comes in, and we're going with her, me and him. We're quickly past the mangroves. It's quiet now and dark. I look back to where my town used to be. It's quiet now and dark. There's just one little fire out the back in Morgan Camp Yard. Them mob cooking up a feed. Never take too much, only what you need. Didn't notice my town leave. Probably didn't notice her come. That was 120 years ago, which is morning tea to dumb. Or maybe a little before noon. There'll be other fires soon. Far off in Roebuck Bay I see the speck of dark that belies the run of the floating tub, my town and the old shed floating in the dark. We've been too far apart, been there, got the t-shirt, filled my flask. I have a sip of Maker's Mark, cross myself for my protection, and I point my friend in that direction. We come upon them slowly, my duplicitous friend and me. The floating tub lies lowly in the duplicitous Indian Sea. My town lounges up the front, her crimson dress, hair free. Unlock any door if you got the right key. She never wore that dress for me. Old shed sits in the stern, trailing a single finger in the lee, and I feel the speed increase, my friend and me. He dips below the water, then nothing can I see but the shining white fingertip trailing ahead of us in the lee. We're tearing through the water, me clinging on desperately, and I see his teeth crunch that finger tight, clamp on, and try and pull old shed into the sea. There's a toiling and a broiling. Water all around is boiling, all around my friend and me, and a gunshot, a single gunshot. Sharp wind shakes our tree. Put something on the line if you want to be free. My friend has the fingertip in his jaws, old shed, shaken free, bleeding, standing over us with his smoking 303. I'll tell you what law we used. We caught them and we shot them. Rule 303, and down we dive, down deep, my friend and me. We lay on the bottom, looking up. I see the barrel of the 303 sticking out from the floating tub's bow. My friend swallows the bloody fingertip, gulps it down clean, and I want to at him scream, "Are you fucking happy now?" But all that comes out are angry bubbles that float away from me, up and away in the duplicitous Indian Sea, up to the floating tub's bow. Now we're in the waiting game, only got yourself to blame. Don't know the how, but know the why. I'm starting to question the my friend helping me boon. He can stay down here for 5 bloody hours, but I best be thinking about doing some breathing soon. They say your life flashes before your eyes when your body's getting down with the drown, but I don't know if I can face that shit again. It was bad enough the first time around. This will make you stand out in a crowd. Go on, son, go out there and make us proud. Shout it, shout it, shout it out loud. But things get twisted round. Look after the pennies and fuck the pounds. Things get shrouded by a cloud. Things get clouded by a shroud. I'm looking to where I'm going to, not anxing about where I've been. At least down here, no one will ever hear me scream. Just more disappointed bubbles floating up and filling your screen. I've got to let my friend go. I've got to go up and breathe. The floating tub is moving away, carried along by the Wirral-Burru breeze. His eyes are shut, he's all shut down. I let my friend go with ease. You love someone till you don't, you'll do anything and then you won't. And then we both are free. You owe me nothing, brother, he feels the thinking in me, and I float away to live, up to the surface to breathe. One eye and my friend asleep, one eye peeled for the 303. I'm a whale singing my way down to the ice. I'm a steaming bowl of fish soup and rice. Through the tension surface I slice, gulping in the air all sweet and nice. The barrel swings towards me, the thrice, oh thrice. Flip your cards, count 'em up, cunts. Drop the bones, read the tea leaves, throw your dice. I'm leaving, I'm heaving, I'm hiding, I'm diving, diving away, diving deep down into the night. I hear his yells above me, his corrugated iron cough. Once he even fires off another angry shot. But he's forgotten where he came from. He's forgotten a lot. He's firing where I'm not. He's forgotten how to hunt me. And just before dawn, don't come the raw prawn. We'll sort this out on the front lawn. He sits back down in the storm. There's a whispered clank of the 303 being laid against the side of the tub. This is my weapon and this is my gun. This is for fighting and this is for fun. I float up wistfully to have a breathe and a look. If you didn't know this happened, go read a book. The government's not going to tell you. They don't want to talk about what was took. They've got their normative framework. We've got our veggie gardens and our chooks. At least you haven't lost your looks. Sink a line and hook, cranny and nook. I have a little breathe and have a little look. My town, she lounges back, her crimson dress all lit up in the morning sun, her hair shining black, cutting me no slack. She sips her Bloody Mary. Where'd she get the tomatoes for that? There's nothing tomato with that, the matter tomato, nothing tomato with that. He slouches, slumps, slummocks down the back, his finger bleeds into the water, a long bloody slicking out the back. He's forgotten what he just learned. He's cashing checks he hasn't earned and he looks a little worse for wear. My dream of saving my town has washed away in the night. Old Shed doesn't look like out of a wet paper bag he could fight. The shed next bark is worse than his bite. My town sips her Bloody Mary, unattainable, bathed in ethereal light. I stroke slowly towards the floating tub. I pat my head, my stomach's rub. She looks at me, vacant but wanting. Sack Ricky Bunting! A woman in a red dress, sitting under a red light. In the distance, the call of the juag juag. I come up on the side of the floating tub. He looks down and sees me. Lord, can you hear me speak? I'm from the future. I'm from the middle of next week. Panic roars into his eyes. He grabs for his 303 with his one good hand. Don't shoot me, I'm with the band. None of this is planned. Old Shed thought he was stringing her along, not the other way around. He jumps up slowly, unsteady does he stand. The 303 points at me and his other wounded hand reaches for her throat. If I can't have her, no one can. I try to shout. Shout it, shout it, shout it out loud. Wrap myself in the Turin shroud, but my lips and tongue are swollen. My children and land are stolen. I've been in the water all night and I can't make a sound. The 303 barrel wavers in the air. She makes no move to avoid his vacant, weakening stare and his other reaching, bleeding hand. Then behind the floating tub, there's a rattling in the cage. The bloody slick is bloody, turn the bloody page, and arcing up the middle, the hey diddle diddle, have I got time for a piddle? Light up Rome and pass my fiddle is a single fin, a fingal sin, a tiger shark as big as a house. Roars up the slick cat, got your mouse. The 303 levels at me, the bleeding hand is at her throat, when out of the slick of bloody blood comes the tiger shark as big as a house and bites him clean in half, takes him off at the waist, splashes back down and disappears. The 303 clatters to the deck. My town wipes a blood smear delicately from her delicate neck. The legs and guts from Old Shed totter, wobble, overbalance, falls overboard and onto me. I try to shake that thing free, but down I'm dragged. Him, headless, armless, heartless, riding me like a horse. Horses for courses, a spill in the caucus. Those dead legs clamped onto me and I'm in trouble deep. Fucking Shedneck even hates me with his feet. Pretty soon things are getting hazy down here in trouble deep. I'm feeling pretty lazy, running out of oxygen I could do with a good sleep. And there's my friend above me with his wicked little grin. The tiger shark as big as a house has left a half for him. Last thing I remember, I was smoking out the back. Now I've lost all coordination and I'm wondering if this nation really exists. And everything goes to black. When I come to, I'm face down in the back of the floating tub. My eyes are cracked with salt, my head kind of pounds. I try to sit up but I'm sore, my knees and arse and groin. My pants are around my ankles and I'm looking for a sign. She sips her Bloody Mary like nothing's been going on. She fucked with me while I was under. Will you tear my heart asunder? My dignity has been plundered. She showed me no respect and her twisted little smile asks me, well, what did you expect? I'll go the extra mile, get you access to your file. She laughs at me, sips her drink, puffs on her joint. Out I look and see we've floated out to the point. Then I feel the tide change. The water shifts beneath our feet. An appointment with fate we've got to keep. A song floats out to us, floats across the water deep, with another song inside, hidden down, hidden deep. I look down to see my trusty flask laying on its side, top off by my feet. She's drunk all my maker's mark. She's drunk my very last, the last mark she'll ever have. She laughed at the house-sized tiger shark, and that floating song floats along into my liarn it seeps. I hoist up my strides and dignity, and I sit in old Shed's seat. I look into the eyes of my town. I'm looking for the heart that beats, beats. You got yourself lost, my town. Got yourself run off your feet. Fingers to the bone, run ragged, hollowed out and haggard. Oh, my tired and aching feet. But I didn't come for the red dress. I came for the heart that beats. You can do what you like to me. I've got a promise I've got to keep. If you think your AO Neville act scares me, then you don't know me. My town, I've got her attention. Got no fluid retention, money too tight to mention. She surfaces from the deep. Macbeth hath murdered sleep. My town smiles a different smile, another kind now. The red dress begins to fade. It'll be white in a little while. NT, not today. WA, wait a while. We get taken by the song, tide pulling us along, pulling us in. Every time I try to get out, they pull me back in. Where's your wheelie bin? Needles and pins. I really been to jail, but don't tell the missus. 2 years I've been in, not a mortal sin. I was all charged up, I didn't even mean to hit him. Ripped right off the bloody hinge, fell in the fire, hair got singed. Living on the fringe, living on the bringe. Give us a fucking drink, don't be a stinge. I want to take every cheque from check day and roll them into one big fat check A. And then rip it up, everybody rip it up. That'd be the fucking day. I can feel that tide turning. It's like a song in my head. I can't quite remember it and I can't quite forget. Like a memory from your bed, that was when you were still drinking. That was when my heart was still shrinking. I was in over my head. Now my head is burning. Now the tide is turning. Ding dong, the bitch is fled. Sing song, the stitch is red. Holding my jeans together, holding my life, hanging by a thread. A red thread, a burning head, a rusty old shed, a song in bed. The tide is turning, on the good tide we'll head. Back again. Back again, up the creek we'll head, put the whole thing to bed. We'll follow that old song in, pulling us by its long red thread. The tide is turning, brother, can you hear? The tide is turning, heard the good ear. I overheard the conversation. I wrote the legislation. I changed the constitution. I was standing right near her. The tide is turning now, nothing can touch us. The tide is turning now, no one can bust us. There is no law except for the one we make. No profit here except for what we take. A poor man fighting for his rights, a rotor fan spinning off in flight. The tide is turning and the moon is full. Everything flows, and that's the only rule. She flicks her hair back. She knows I am no fool. I can undo any nut when I've got the right tool. So now it's me and you and the turning tide. Last ones left alive. jaws open wide, into the abyss we slide, the piper but not pied, being sucked back in on the ingoing tide. I told you the truth, my love, I swear I never lied. I'm all alone with my town in her red turning white dress, heading back in from the point on the sneaky snarly tide, the whisper of a song pulling us like we're on a line. She smiles at me, her dress is pink, she's a melted chocolate ice cream I could drink. That pink coats her deadly curves, not a ripple, not a kink, to give away the primal urge, all that bare skin I can hardly think. Let me get my beak wet, or we'll all end up in the clink and they'll never forgive me, the brother boys, if ever I defiled these curves of pink. A lolly I could link, they've got their code of honour, keeps them from the brink, keeps them in the concrinked state of mind. I've just got to survive the tide going in and the woman in a dress of pink. Why don't you sit a little closer? Her big eyes seem to say. Come a little closer, big boy. Spend a little big pay. She runs her fingers through her dark curls. I know you work hard diving for my pearls. And even though I want to, I know I can't look away. I can't stop now, I've got to go the whole way. I came for the heart that beats away, that holds sway. So I move a little closer, allow the floating tub to settle. Back end rises up a little. I'm steaming like a kettle, like a billy boiling inside. I block out this floating world, staring deep into her eye. I unfurl my pirate's flag. Away we set sail across auburn sky, the auburn sky in her eye. The moon so full, she is dripping, flag and sails are ripping, feel the pull, the rhythm of the beating heart melts every fucking thing, keeping us apart. The sky inside the moon is full and deep, deep and wide. I see the floating tub below us, bobbing along on the ingoing tide. My town, she is different in the country of the moon, silhouetted against silky light. Dallying with the dead of night, I steady myself against my flagpole to fight the rising swoon, the overwhelming looseness in the hollowness of the moon. My town, she has her sister girls, her mothers, grannies, jalbies, jandu, floating all around her, fragrance of the frangie in full bloom, and from the jandu light, this wingless flight, she reaches for my hand. I can't even see her face, I don't know my place. Hail Mary, full of grace, her shining light obliterates all form. Her touch is just a feeling, dancing on the ceiling. The street is green, is peeling. Her touch is just a whisper of a wind. Excuse me. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I want to hold her tight, embrace her through this overwhelming light. But there's nothing left to squeeze. No one left to please. I hear the skull and crossbones are rattling in the breeze. Lightning flashes, heartbeats, crashes, the skull and crossbones melted clean. The pain reduces from the overwhelming light. She steps away, holds my hand in her dress of white. The sister light fades, she grips me tight, my town serene in her dress of white. And at the edge of the moon, the staircase leading down to the car park at Town Beach. Some trees you can never pleach, some stains you can never bleach, some people you can never teach. Humanity's bond can't be breached. The terrorists there, they see us standing on the edge, the bottom lip of the moon, the golden staircase below us, the bride and groom. The song floats up to greet us. Up the creek, they're waiting to meet us. Their cameras click, they whir, they flash. The digital age is full of cash for comment, for pics. Lick your lips, loose lips sink ships. There's 2 shovels, take your pick of the it couple coming down the stairs. The staircase from the moon, and below us at the bottom, the floating tub arrives, and in we step, an apparition. Say your Hail Marys, do your contrition. We can sell digital depiction that shows the dress of white, stepped off the staircase in red orange light. We stand holding hands, the floating tub lands. Through her hand clasp, I feel her pulse, beating out a rhythm, a message from the heart that beats. The rhythm matches the floating song from somewhere up Dampier Creek. We skirt the mangroves, we feel the wind blow, smell the grass grow, ride the tide that comes and goes, that outs and ins and outs, the laws we flout. I hold her steady, floating tub bumps gently against Streeter's jetty. Off she steps, I hold her hand, no one can ever take your land. Below the tub, there's a murkly rumbling, I have to brace myself to stop myself from tumbling in. Foolishly laying our hearts on the table, and servicing next to me, my friend, wrinkly croc skin, my friend I never told you about. I look to her, her eyes confirm, serene gaze, a desperate shout, sort it out, the friend you never told me about. Cleanse the sin, empty the bin, slowly I turn back to him. We were in the Linju. Bless you. It rhymed, come on. We were together in the Linju, wore the uniform blue. I was with him in the Sallyport the night he stuck the boot into you. You took a swing, you mad bastard, I could have told you it was a mistake. He's dropping his knee onto your head, you're bleeding, flip-flopping like a maggot, he's screaming all the while, you punch like a fucking faggot! His eyes were wide, crazy man, I was frightened stiff, my gut was churning, I'm on the bottom rung, the knee drops go on, and still I hold my useless tongue. So I left the Linju, the uniform blue. He was kicked out, whisper became a shout, exposed the bloody rort, and the golden fucking rule, thou shalt not get caught. So now it's me and him. Him with his wrinkly crocodile skin, me with my white guilt and original sin. I know his tricks, he'll try and pull me back in. He looks at me with his crazy eye, then dips below, goes under, disappears. So it's surprise he's gonna try. I lean down to the floating tub and take up the 303. You wanna fuck? You wanna fuck with me? I've had this shame I've had to live with. I shouldn't have stayed silent. Don't accept the violence. I think with the gun in my hands, I'm not obese, it's just a problem with my glands. Killing him will cleanse me, I'll be free. You'll see, still me, but free of this feeling. When he comes up from Dampier Creek, he comes fast and sleek, coming fast like a zero, diving out of the sun, and I'm too old, I'm too slow with a gun. He's on me, I'm going backwards, and onto her I fall. I'm wrestling with a croc, Hamburg with a lot, nerves are pretty shot, Wallach notices the water is getting hot. We crash backwards off Streeter's jetty, backwards onto dry land, gotta make a stand. My town, she breaks our fall. She hears the call, her heartbeat, a cushion, a sweetmeat profusion. His claws are at my throat, her heartbeat at my back, between a rock and a hard place, between the ugly Linju and a pretty face. Her arms and legs are wide, wrap us warm and tight, pulling us down, pulling us in, our deadly tangle, our nasty strangle, worked out the angle, our lives bleed away. Our gripping fingers hold sway, the heart that beats envelops us. No dresses, white or red, no arms or breast or head, just womanly flesh, like dirt, like dust, like sand, all around us, in us, through and through, and finally, all is still. Not such a bitter pill, no struggle, no fight, everything gonna be all right. The heartbeat now is constant, is all around, above, beneath. I stare up at the stars, and later, much later, realise I am alone. I'm sensitive to the grass growing, it tickles. The wind blowing, it flickles. And at my feet, the tide flowing, it trickles. I become part of the land that no one can ever take. The only true way to become a stray Yan, dead and buried in a wooden boat ferried, buried in the sand hills, the swamps, and the hard red